The Georgia legislature passed what was then known as House Bill 277, called the Transportation Investment Act of 2010, gotten we're beyond House Bill 277. It created proposed a 1% sales tax for transportation purposes throughout the state of Georgia. It creates 12 special transportation taxing districts that are based on the boundaries of the regional commission. And that is where the connection to the regional commission stops. They are not the same body. The regional commission is working with the State Department of Transportation only to inform groups like yourself, inform local officials, but also act as a clearinghouse and agent for the DOT. Because they just don't have staff needed to take this on. So we're all able to do that. The law created a new body called a Regional Transportation Roundtable. Chairman Paul and Mayor Freddie are our representatives from Lowndes County. They're each county chairman in our county region, and one mayor from each county is a member of that Regional Transportation Roundtable. It also created an executive committee. The executive committee is 5 persons, plus 2 members from the House Transportation Committee and 1 member from the Senate Transportation Committee. In our case, we have 5 county chairmen serving on that, and Ashley is on that for Lowndes County. The roundtable has elected Mayor Travis Harper from Nashville to be its chairman, and he is a non-voting chairman of the executive committee as well. I'm going to get into what the roles and responsibilities are of those 2 groups in a minute. The tax will be levied for 10 years. Individual counties cannot opt out. Remember when this was being debated in the legislature over the last a year to 18 months ago? That was a big thing. If counties go on their own, the counties decide what they want to do. That is not the case with this legislation. It is the region is together as one. A county cannot opt out. The money raised in the district stays within the district. It cannot be rebalanced through congressional district balancing, which current transportation dollars are balanced on congressional districts. This is not. Going into a little bit of why did Georgia do this tax? One of the biggest reasons is the legislature felt that a gas tax increase was not palatable to voters. But looking at the Georgia Department of Transportation budget, this year it's just over $2 billion, and $1.1 billion of that is federal funds. The federal gas tax is at 18.4 cents per gallon is generating $36 billion a year. President Obama has proposed that in this year's fiscal year 2012 budget, that the transportation funds coming from the Fed go up to $96 billion a year. However, he did not propose where that revenue comes from. Chairman Micah of Florida, he's the chairman of the House Transportation Committee in Congress. He has proposed to keep the federal transportation fund right where it is at $36 billion. He does not want to see any tax increase. So that is posing a problem. Where do we how do we fill that gap? In Georgia, if you think about getting $1 billion a year, $36 billion is less than $1 billion for each state. So Georgia's pot keeps getting smaller and smaller as we grow larger with federal money. In the state, our state gas tax, which right now is about 21 cents per gallon, it fluctuates every 6 months. There's a fluctuation built into it. It's usable on roads and bridges only, and it generates right now about $850 million. And Georgia is on this close to not being able to match its federal funds. It has so far been able to do it every year, but that is